Hello, everybody. This is Lord Mortos, and I'm here today playing Space Marine 2. Oh, no, wait, that's a better Warhammer game. Today I'm playing Warhammer Rogue Trader, and I gotta be perfectly honest, I had no interest in actually playing this, but it was on Game Pass, and I love Warhammer stuff, so I downloaded it a couple days ago, and I was kind of hesitant to play it. And I started it yesterday, and have to admit I was pleasantly surprised by the character creation. And I love strategy games, so it was really interesting, and it's Warhammer, so that already piques my interest. And I got all the way through the prologue, which was actually really cool. And but now that the prologue's over, I'm kind of like out on my own here, ready to start the adventure. And something I came across really disturbed me, and it's kind of a hot button topic issue with Games Workshop and Warhammer in general. Um, just to kind of show you what I mean, it's very subtle, but you meet all your little officers on your ship because you got this whole ship with a crew, and one of your officers here is the Vox Master Vigdis, and she is a Voidborn, just like my character, and I already did this conversation, and you guys will see in a minute what I'm talking about. I'm going to do some reading, and everything will become clear here in a minute. So, a thin, pale woman stands out among the rest of the crew. There's a thick bundle of cables coming out of the back of her skull, and disappearing under her ceremonial garment. And you see the grate of quietly humming Vox where her mouth should be. The woman sees you and bows her head in a respectful greeting. How may I serve you, Lord Captain? And because we're both Voidborn, I chose this option here. Your appearance is unique. You are Voidborn, are you not? Vigdis's Vox crackles with barely audible laughter. Don't you know, Lord Captain? Both of us were born in the cold vastness of space, but there are no two identical tales, just as there are no two identical stars. If you like, I will gladly tell you about the lives of the Voidborn aboard this vessel. Yeah, because we're Voidborn, we want to know. Tell me about the lives of the Voidborn and my crew. To us, the groans and creaks and murmurs of the ship sound the way babbling brooks and singing birds do to world dwellers. We hear the ship breathe, know what it is feeling and thinking. We are a part of the ship just like it is a part of us. We perform numerous functions, and there are many officers among our number. Some maintain order and prevent mutiny. Others serve as shepherds and support the crew, and some devote themselves to mending the body and spirit of the vessel. Most of the Voidborn members of large void ship dynasties that bear responsibility for a certain aspect of the ship's life. For 300 years, the main branch of the Ptolemon dynasty has produced the ship's Vox Masters, and most of our subordinates come from the cadet houses of the dynasty. Wow. How do you find life on the ship? Life has been generous to me, Lord Captain. I am the Vox Master, and only the best in the dynasty can become one. By virtue of my skills and position, no one has ever denied me anything. Our family claims a spacious section for its demons. I don't know how to say that word. I also enjoy long walks through the narrow, dimly lit corridors of the ship, listening to the sounds of her activity, falling asleep and waking up to the chanting hymns, and admiring the stars beyond, of course. Oh. How do others on the ship treat you? We look, speak, and move differently from the inhabitants of planetary worlds. Our way of life, traditions, and quirks frighten these people, just like the darkness of the cosmos. Many believe us to be bringers of ill fortune, and alas, it is the Voidborn who get the blame for terrible warp phenomena during long voyages. Vigdis hesitates before continuing. Several years ago, an unfortunate warp jump caused all the food on board to spoil. 15 days later, a hungry and furious crew nearly massacred everyone on the lower decks, blaming us for the misfortune and hoping to restock their larders with our flesh. I would have been killed during the mutiny if Idara Talas had... if Idara... I can't read. We would have been killed during the mutiny if had Idara Talas not shown up in the right place at the right time. She came to my rescue, and the scoundrel's fear of her was even greater than the fear of the Voidborn. And just as a quick thing here, Idara Talas, in the prologue, was one of your companions. And I got a lot to say about her, but we'll get to that. Looks like you are close friends with Idara. Webs of tiny wrinkles appear on the corners of Vigdis's eyes, the only hint that the Vox Master is smiling. The Voidborn seldom make friends, especially among the captain's entourage, but you see, many consider Idara to be different. I am different too. We have spent plenty of time in each other's company discussing regicide over a glass of Amasek. Yeah, they're real friends. These two women. Yeah, Idara Talas is another female character. It seems like 80% of the main characters you speak to in this game are women. So far. I've only done the prologue and this part of the game. I mean, we all know what's going on with that. Games Workshop and game companies across the board have all been pushing female representation or minority representation in video games for the past 15 years at least. Most of the NPC characters you see walking around the ship or working on the ship or doing something on the ship that have nothing to say to you appear to be men. But like, I would say 80% of the main characters you have to talk to so far have been women to me. And it's a little off-putting in the Warhammer setting, given its history. But we all know that Games Workshop has basically gone crazy with the DEI and gay inclusion and transgenderism and all that. So, more on that. Except Idara changed after one incident, and then we started to drift apart. The death of Lord Captain Theodora made her withdraw even more. I do not know if Idara considers me friend now, but we used to be very close. It's good I can still look after her in my own way. So here I succeeded a perception test, and I guess you glean extra information. But this is where it got me. I'm going to read it here. Interpreting the Vox Master's emotions based on half a face and a Vox modulated voice is no easy task, but you managed to catch the undercurrent of Vigdis's words. The Voxmaster is not merely saddened by the rift with Adara, she is devastated by it. And we can all make the assumption here they were lovers, right? It doesn't specifically say it, but it's heavily implied. And this is the thing with Games Workshop and the fan base. Um, the fan base, I would say, is like 99% men, right? It's definitely more men than women, and even 99% of the men who like Warhammer, we just don't care for this gay agenda BS that they're shoving down our throats in the video games and the books. The last big controversy I heard about was, I guess they made an Adeptus Custodes a female, and absolutely everything I've heard about that is nobody likes it. I don't like it, and it's also lore breaking because in the original books there's no mention of it. But of course, Games Workshop is going back in time and changing their books and making their little DEI inclusion things happen behind the scenes. This is here an example to me of them sneaking something in. And this is just the start of the game. I've not even played the whole game. I can only imagine if this is here, what else they have in store. But anyway, yeah, this here, this, oh, we used to be good friends, and she's just devastated because, yeah, you know what's going on there. So this is really what the video was all about. I do want to talk a little bit about one of the other characters who, Idara Talas, the companion. I'm going to try and find her real quick after I'm done talking to this person, just so I can show you guys the other thing that irks me about this game that Games Workshop and video game companies are doing to kind of shove this DEI woke gay stuff down our throats. So we're just gonna stop talking to you. We question you. We don't trust you. Let's find her. Looking for, what's her name? Yeah. The one thing I do gotta say about this game is, I love strategy games, but we're inside this Imperial ship, and you can kind of see it's like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to look at, and like the game is beautiful, and it looks like Warhammer, but you got all these things in the air that kind of clip into your screen while you're trying to do battles or while you're walking around searching for things. It really bothers me. That's the only bad thing about the gameplay so far that I got to say about this game. But other than that, the combat is actually really fun. It reminds me of XCOM or just XCOM or like Age of Wonders. I have to find this character. Oh, he's doing smoke. She might have left like the room or something. Maybe I gotta leave the area. Oh no, there she is. I see her name. All right, here we have Adara. Now, just for reference here, I want to take a look at my character. Now, my character, I designed my character kind of after the portrait here. This is what Warhammer Psyker looks like to me. Every bit of Warhammer art I've ever seen, this is generally pretty close to what a Psyker is. Now, Psykers are people that can use the power of the warp, and they're well, they're psychic. They do all kinds of psychic stuff. They always look kind of like bald. They always have like tubes coming out of their heads and lightning and stuff. It looks really cool. And every piece of art I've ever seen, this is pretty close to what that looks like. Now let's look at Dara here. Oh. Now you can see her little portrait there on the bottom left. Now she is a psyker as well, sanctioned psyker, and I've never, I don't know, the art style for her is just so off base for Warhammer. Yeah, she's got the tubes coming out of her head, and she's got the staff and whatever. But we all know what's going on here. This is the video game equivalent of a DEI hire, and I'm not opposed to having, say, a person of color be a psyker, but like she's got hair, and she doesn't look like any psyker picture I've ever seen. She looks like a normal person with tubes coming out of her head. That's it. And this is just one of those, another subtle little changes that they do in the games and in the books and stuff, that they're trying to basically make this stuff acceptable or passable so that people don't question it. And as far as I know, I haven't heard anybody talk about any kind of like funny stuff going on with this game. I haven't watched many videos about this game. Maybe people are talking about it. I haven't heard a thing about it. But this is just another thing. And then too, in the prologue, all the characters are voiced. Now, I haven't heard anyone speak since I got done with the prologue, but she's got this like Indian accent, not feather Indian, dot Indian, and she comes off as like girl bossy and just the most repugnant female personality. You know the one that I'm talking about. It's the same one you get in basically every video game with a female character for the last 15 years. She's just girl boss, you're not good enough, and it's all about her. There was a part in the prologue where she kind of took center stage, and it was really bothering me. Like, hey, I'm the main character here. Why are we talking about this girl? Anyway, this is basically all I wanted to talk about with the game. You got her and the Voxmaster and Adara having a subtle, if not outright, complete gay relationship. And then you got Idara herself being what I consider to be video game DEI hire. Feel free to disagree with me. I don't care. I think Warhammer it's supposed to be grimdark. It's supposed to be cool. It's supposed to be for the boys, man, the dudes. But there's nothing wrong with girls getting into it. They have things for girls in Warhammer. They got the Adeptus Sororitas, the Sisters of Battle, and you got the Sisters of Silence. And then, girls, any female can totally get into like a Space Marine chapter. You don't have to be male or female to like a Space Marine chapter. But this kind of thing they're doing to Warhammer is, to me, it's sacrilege, and we don't want to be changing things like this. And that too, the way of wokeness and gay agendas and DEI, that is going to be a thing of the past here coming soon, because the pendulum is swinging and people are done with this kind of crap. We don't want it in Warhammer. We don't want it in video games. And, get it away from me. It's going to be like, the whole, the hippie revolution way back in the 60s. Like that dried up and blew away, and it was never heard from again. And that's what's going to happen with this woke stuff. So I'm waiting for the day that video games go back to kind of what they used to be, where it was for, mostly the demographic, men. Go ahead and leave a comment. I'm sorry, I make videos kind of off the cuff like this. I say what I'm thinking, and I was really kind of debating on making this video because um, I just don't know what to say because I have a hard time thinking about stuff off the cuff. But I would love to hear what people think about this, and uh, you can feel free to tell me I'm wrong and I'm stupid, or you can tell me I'm right and because I am. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, all that. Thank you. Bye bye.